punishment for what they have done. So the bear anger in their heart. Even if you get extra. If you didn't do it, you're going to get 0, right? That's how I walk the world. And to this day, I walk the world like that. No matter what you do, I will not tell you I love you. I'll prove to you I love you. Telling you I love you is so cheap. It's a cheap version. We come to that. You won't tell your wife for 20 years I love you only. And watch her after a while, don't think you're an abuser. Why do you think I had a brother, same oldest brother? He was spoiled rotten. So anytime he had finances, everything was for him. He had his plans, finances, first his things. He had 3 wives. Why do you think they left him? Hey, if you look at him, he was crying, he loved them. They didn't feel it. They didn't feel it. Because if you truly love her, you won't be doing the things you're doing to cause pain. And if you cause a pain, you'll go all out of your way to heal the person that you're causing them pain. Unless you just don't know about it, can't learn, difficulty, selfish, don't care, whatever your reason why you can't learn, then you should go and ask for very deep explanation. You have a difficulty learning something, what should you do in a classroom? Teacher, can you please help me? When you don't, then your pride is so overwhelming, you're willing to starve yourself from knowledge and live in ignorance because you got to pretend and act as if we know. There's people who just pretend they know, but they don't know. Because they have to, sometimes, this is what I'm saying again, sometimes not our fault, when we do these things. Sometimes we are driven by life's experience to make these dumb decisions too. Because sometimes we are so oppressed because we never were able to accomplish something in life. We see other kids accomplishing, this one, that one achieving, this one achieving, and suddenly, I got to achieve something, I got to prove, I have to do, and then suddenly you get a chance to pretend you're something more than what you really are. Shouldn't we find ourselves and relax in the skin we have? Shouldn't we find confidence and find ourselves in the skin we find ourselves in? The mistakes. Why allow what happened in the past to keep hindering you today? Why allow what happened in the past to keep hindering you today? So your life isn't being lived at its fullest if you allow the past to hinder you from living it today. Listen carefully what I'm saying. If you're not living your life without living it in its fullest, that you need wrong things or say wrongs or pretend or do things, then you are pretending and not living your life at its fullest. You will never be able to. Unless you can find it, fix it. If you're one-legged, I want to know how you can run a 10-mile race. There's a hopper run you're going to do. And if you find out, I'm one-legged, and going to get a prosthetic leg, and we want a spring in it. Hey, maybe now I can run. But you have to find, don't make excuses about the past. Because the past lives your life today, and if it's not good, no matter what you try, it ain't going to be good. Unless you fix the past. You don't fix the past you can't just say, some people say, leave it behind. Those are people who don't know nothing. And most of them have a voice in this world. Some of them have nice words of speech, and they are called motivational talk. We go listen to those motivational talkers. You know, they don't talk from the heart, you know. Some of them jump into cold water, they get themselves all ready. Some of them will be doing all kind of exercise to get themselves. Listen, if it's here, it can proceed from here without doing anything about it. If it's not in the heart, if them themselves are living by it, then they have memorized a speech that they got to energize themselves to give. What comes out of the heart is life. For the issues of life proceeds out of the heart. It's life. I don't need to jump into a cold ice water bath. I don't need to do some exercises. I don't need to soup up my mind. I don't have to, oh, I'm going to do this now. No, it will start coming. And that's what I saw. My family, all of them were handicapped. I could have helped some, but they first have to acknowledge that I was able to write. And since I don't want to go out my way to prove something or to tell them, you know something they don't know. And as like telling them, I'm superior over you. And if they're ready, having a struggle with that, how are you going to accomplish that? So you got to live your life watching it and love them with their shortcomings. And don't say you love them. I never told them. I never do tell them I love them with words. Remember, I told her this made birthday and I didn't get no calls. But I didn't tell my love, I showed my love when I was there for the funeral. And, okay? They searched me by phone, different places, until they found me. So my regular phone was turned off. Couldn't receive no message. So why couldn't you have called me by WhatsApp and easily find me where I am on my birthday? But you found me, searched and found me. I said, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You see again? But I proved it. And I got them to reciprocate, even if they mean it, you know. I ain't going to say they mean it. They weren't pretending when they said it. But what stopped them on my birthday to call me? They do love me. I'm not saying much they don't love me. They do love me. What stopped them on my birthday from calling me? The pains that they still carry in their heart covers me. I used to tease, right? But isn't that something they should fix? Allow true love. So you can't fix it, so you're handicapped. And I have to help you for it to come out. But I'm willing to. I've learned since I'm a young kid to do that. I helped my mom, 13 years old, to find the trust in me again. I knew who I was, and now I understand what my destiny was when I was born. I was born to help. I have it. It was a call in my life. I resisted it. I used it to become wealthy. I saw into the hearts of the bankers when they didn't want to give us a loan. I saw into the bankers what they was doing to use to trick me, and I walked around it and got the money from them. I saw when people, and I used that talent, that gift God gave me of understanding to achieve my personal goals. It was all I became now, but then I found out it isn't your personal goal. What can you do to help somebody to achieve their goals? That's why I was giving it. What can you do to help somebody to overcome their hurdles and get to finish the race? That's why I was given it. Not for me to run and get around, to hurdle somebody and put them apart. You see what I'm saying? I was born to be the shepherd I am today. Like, are you born to do what you're doing? And if you're not, you're going to go back. Forgiveness. When God forgive us of the wrongs we did, he said, I also want to restore you what you lost. Religion don't teach us that. Because religion teaches we must grovel. So when we ask for forgiveness, grovel. So our focus wasn't on forgive me, Lord. Here I am. I've lost. Restore me. It is on, I have to beg to receive my forgiveness. No. When you do what is right, you're helping somebody to do what is right. When they see you doing right, you do wrong, you do wrong. You know, a lot of people do. They all want to break your standard by inviting you to do something that's wrong. You raise a standard, somebody's going to come along, try to bring your standard down. Somebody. You know why? Because if I can bring your standard down, hey, then I have no fault. You're doing the very same thing I'm doing. You catch what I'm saying? When you raise a standard, be aware. Somebody's going to come along and we'll send somebody along to drag your standard down. And they're going to come into your life and pretend they love you. We were never taught that we're going to be restored. Or we have to restore. Did I have to restore my mom's trust in me? If I didn't, she would have gone to her grave. When she went to her grave, believing certain things that I never quit helping others to achieve. Because without being restored by the things that have handicapped us, we will never, ever be able to love in the fullness that we want to. It isn't like we don't want to love. We want to love. But if this person's making it hard, we seem to want to turn our focus to someone else. No, that's where your target and your work is. My target and my work wasn't, oh, well, my father still loves me. He used to protect me. You know, my father said when I was small, come and pick me up from school. Why? Because he'll come home in the night and watch his son with more tiger stripes on him. So he'll pick me up after school, take me to work with him. And every once in a while, he had to give me a dish also. Because if that is, so me don't complete, stop me complete. But he used to do that. Till at the end, he became accustomed to my fellowship. I was small, but still he had somebody with him, right? But he used to do it just to protect me from my own self. So I could have said, oh, why do you need to have worry with mom for? Hey, dad is on my... No. I wanted to get back what I lost. Pay the price. Sat down. I asked. She told me. And she finally came. And she said, why are you doing it? I made her a few weeks later come and say, I'm going to trust you again. I restored her. I restored the trust in her heart that I robbed from her. And I swept. Listen, I did two things, you know. It wasn't one. I restored the trust in her heart, right? And I swept to get back my own. I didn't accuse, I didn't tell her she was wrong. No. I did what I did as a kid, and I earned it. Now, as a kid, I understood, but somehow I understood things better than most people because I had this understanding. I know I did it. The three of us also were the same age. My mother, all three going to get it. The other two will be sleeping. She'll come and find me in my bed, sitting up, thinking, planning. I mean, we're going to take her condensed milk, right? And she'll come and find me sitting there and said, you're not sleeping yet? do you need to get something extra to go to sleep? Or I'm gonna pretend I'm sleeping. So that lady she never threatened. She taught me never threaten a person. When you tell them something, let it be a promise. She would tell me, she'll pass the door, like say when she punished us, and the bedroom there, and I hear, she passed the, are you still? Just 5 or 10 minutes later, right? When you get a good dose, right? You have at least a half an hour to cool down, right? She passed 10 minutes out of the bedroom door, see me. Well, you are still crying over that? Don't let me pass back and find you so, then I'll give you something to continue crying. She didn't threaten you. It was a promise. She passed back and I was like, doesn't matter what I said to that crazy woman is coming. And then call us, so then they didn't even think that. No, I can make a joke. Yeah, I had a good childhood. Remember, Daddy always going to orchards? Huh? But I was always, listen, when you all look at the old Greek movie, you see a kid with a shirt open, short pants on, he's running around. Picture that as your pastor, that's how he grew up. I put shoes on my foot, take them off. Give me a shirt. I didn't have buttons in the shirt, because I always was fighting, and I always had no buttons, so the shirt was always open. Hey, I was going to ask my brother, David, let's go get some cashews. Because you all know cashew nuts. But cashew has a fruit. The nut is hanging outside. Let's go get some cashew. No, we're going to get caught. Well, I'm going to go by myself then. So, the whole neighborhood, different neighborhoods knew me because I had to walk sometime to other neighborhoods to get to the orchards. Sometimes I had to walk 20 minutes, half an hour to get to the mango orchard. Hey, so I'm going to get too early there and the mangoes aren't fully ripe. That's okay. I'm still going to eat them. I didn't walk for nothing. So I take more than I wanted, throw away the rest, because couldn't eat too many green mangoes, right? That's why the Rubens still remember me. Hallelujah. Thus so our hearts, which were filled with hurts. With hurt, and so also bitterness. When you're hurt, bitterness comes out. When you hurt somebody, you betray your wife, you betray your husband, you're going to hurt. The pain you're going to cause is bigger than you can imagine. The bigger than you can imagine. And the bitterness that ensues out of the hurt, you have to deal with. The bitterness. But if you do what you're supposed to do, then you cause the pain and the bitterness, then can you go and empty the bitterness, put some honey back into the heart, and heal the heart from the wound that you caused. Healing a wound doesn't just happen because you say, I'm sorry. It doesn't happen. And some people have a difficulty to say, I'm sorry. If you had to say, I'm sorry 1,000,000 times, that is the ointment that the heart is requiring. Not forgiveness. Forgiveness is saying, I regret doing what I've done. Sorry is saying, I'm sorry for the pain I have caused you. Forgiveness is what you have done. Sorry is to heal the pain. Two different things. Forgiveness, I have wounded you. The sorry that you show, the regret that you show, regularly when you see the pain, when does a person need to open the old wound and bandage it again? It's not because they start feeling the wound isn't doing good under the bandage. They take off the bandage, clean it, put on some new medication. Well, why didn't you just do it once and settle? Some people do it once and settle and cut off the limb because gangrene set in under the bandage. So you see, when we say, forgive me, if we think the person has been healed, the person can be dying. The love within their heart can be dying. There's a restoration that we have to do. The restoration takes time. It takes open the wound, clean it, put a new ointment, rebandage it with something clean. Next day, open the wound. And that is what, when does the person, now how do you know that the person is still hurting? You ask me. How do you know? Because the wound you can see. Because God gave us a body to understand what the soul is like. The wound in the body you can see. When do you know the wound needs to be treated? Because it started to hurt a little, right? And that's when you open your mouth and say, I'm going to have the wound treated. When the person starts saying something negative. Because what does the heart do? I'm telling you something. Let me come to that. The heart is like a tube. When everything is good, you don't squeeze the tube. When this tube is squeezed, it's under what? Pressure. You have to put a tube under pressure for the tube to put out something. Isn't that true? What causes the heart to feel the squeeze? Stress squeezes the heart. Then you know what's in the heart. You want to see somebody truly love you? Do something to get them angry. And see what's coming out of the heart. Then you know how much pain you caused. Or how much pain was caused in the life. Because the trouble is, not always because it isn't you. Sometimes other people hurt you. And then the pain's coming out. Listen, you ever heard the abused becomes the abuser? No, if you hurt your child, you find your child grow up an adult and hurting their child. The same way. But you forget sometimes the relationship of what they're passing on. Because if you had fixed it, you won't do it. If I didn't fix, when my mom told me I don't trust, would I have trusted anybody giving me their word? No. I wouldn't have been able to, because I would have had the wound of distrust. You see? People don't realize. It isn't something you can put behind you. It's the soul that I'm talking about today. The ignorance in the church that we don't deal with the Word of God by just reading a scripture. Pastor's supposed to be the finest of all psychiatrists, to deal with the wounds and the hurts of the past, to bring the people from this past life into this new life. You can't just say you're born again and now you're plunk in here and now everything is hunky-dory. No, you come into this one and you brought every negativity from this life, you brought it into the new life with you. That's why he said, put off the ways of the old man, now that we are born again, and put on the ways of the new man. And we not learn that. All we learn, I'm born again, I'm going to heaven, and we continue living our lives by what we were educated in this life. And the religious people just going to church to say they're going to church. Because if they were going to church and meant it and grew up in church, they should, like those two boys who led the thing, they were touched by this church. Their character was formed by the things they learned from the time they're smaller baby. Go downstairs on the baby and you see videos going into their heart, prepping them for life. I spent thousands on education and junk don't come in. I just go over the material and no good, throw it out. Because there's a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. But they're educating the kids from small to be religious. That these stories in the Bible are only stories. Children, they're not stories. They're life's experiences. When it passed on the right way. it gives the child a chance to look up at that story and say, if he did it, I can do it. You don't have to be like a person. You just say, if he did it, I can do it. You don't need to manipulate, con, trick ourselves through life, sweet talk ourselves through life. Life, you live it or you don't live it. Trying to convince somebody of something who you you're not really are, is just a con game. Manipulating people is only taking away the freedom from people. Do you know what? You know, that's why a lot of people should be, I never had nobody really close to me. You know what? You learn so much from me, yeah? Do what you have learned. I never had nobody really close to me. Because I didn't, maybe my pains and all that, I did it a little bit. But what did I do mostly is, if you have learned this, go and live it. You don't have to stick to me, just follow me. Do it. You go and do it too. You go and do it too. As a pastor, I never manipulate. I'll teach you and tell you, go and do it. I don't come and watch you, but if you're not doing right, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. If you're doing right, it's going to come back too. You see, I don't have to be policing. I'm not controlling. I give it a chance to do it. That's what trust is did. But if I had lost the trust, I didn't gain it back, how would I be able to trust anybody to teach them to do something and then go and fly? Here's your wings. Go and fly. Use the things you have been taught. Fly, go and soar like an eagle. That's what our jobs are. You teach your children, you back away, and you tell them go and fly. You don't stay manipulative. And then the worst part of manipulation is the people who are manipulating, if you don't do what they want, they're very angry with you. They're angry and actually want you to get crushed. That's destructive. That's imprisoning somebody. And you can imprison somebody through all kind of craftiness. Setting somebody free is what God is raising up for. For you, the Son sets free is free indeed, and we are supposed to be doing what? If He did it, if He can set somebody free, I can too. For the Bible says, for the Son of God has power on the earth to do what? To forgive sins. Oh, only Jesus can. No, you are sons and daughters of God on the earth. You have the power to forgive somebody's sins and to restore them, raise them up to another life. But you said you can also bind them. He says, he whom you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Then nothing they can't receive the blessing. But whom you set free on earth shall be set free also in heaven. But we don't understand those scriptures. We don't know how to put them together. We only have them as a memory. We memorize them. No, they're supposed to be applicable. It's applicable knowledge we come to church to learn. Applicable knowledge. Knowledge that we can apply to our lives, that we can rise up from the dust, that we can rise up from the ashes. But that's what God says. Shake off the ashes. Get up. I've called you to reign as kings and queens in your life. I've called you to be a priesthood, to guide people, from defeat to victory, from imprisonment to freedom, from sickness to healings. That will God raise each and every one of us up for. Bring the cart out to me. Why can't we? As I said,